Let's get the mic close, shall we? Emerald, welcome to the stream. David, welcome. Good to see you guys. Let's go Viking Demonic here. Different paint though. That's a good paint. Wim, welcome to the stream. Ahmed, welcome. Uzaifa, welcome. What paint looks good here? The head dev? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see if he's on. And he wants to join a call. We'll see, Zeus. Hey, SK. Pro battles? Probably not. Probably going to go gold hunting right now. I haven't played Tenki in 5 days because I'm trying to speedrun DMC5. Nice, man. Ugh. Woke up like 30 minutes ago. Oh, it looks like OPEX Raw is in the general chat. All right. Let's drag him in.
Let's go into podcast.
Hello. Good to see you. How you doing?
Work.
Hold up. Let me turn you down a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. How you doing today?
Mic. Okay, it's fine. Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah, no, you're good.
It's not a normal setup. I'm using a special mic for this one. The one
No,
I'm using for the vlogs.
No, you sound good. You sound good.
And I'm eating my sandwich, so I'm kind of sorry. It's gonna be a start.
I get it. It's good to see you. I mean, I've been playing this game since like 2011, so this is crazy.
Oh, so I kind of, just as you are. 2011. That's when I started.
Yeah, my brother found the game on Miniclip and recommended me to play it, and we were all playing on the same laptop back then. So it's pretty crazy.
Let me think about it. It was 12/11 or 20. That was 2011, and that was January. That's when I started.
Oh wow.
That was an interesting ride. So, my idea was, what are we gonna do today? I know people got questions.
Yeah,
I might have answers, but those questions might not make sense. So,
Okay.
first of all, maybe if we won't even be able to answer all the questions, I need to tell you the story of the game so far.
Sure.
Right? So you might ask some questions, and that's after I explain all of that, many answers will make sense, because I know how players generally perceive the game. So it was like in a zenith in about 2015, and then it goes downstairs from that point on. It's really not like that. But to explain why, it need to take a deep dive into history.
Sure.
So let's go back and remember 2011. So what do you remember about 2011?
I think the first time I played was when the Moon Silence thing came. I forget exactly what it was. It was something along the lines of Cosmonauts Day, or Moon Silence was added to the game, and the low gravity was added. And that was the main reason, or the main thing I remembered from back then. And then I didn't really play much until 2000.
It wasn't 2011.
Or I
But
forget
you remember
exactly
that, okay.
when. I forget exactly like the first moment I remember, but it was some. But I didn't play much up until like 2016. I first started playing in 2011, and I sucked. I sucked at the game. I'm not gonna lie. And then I remember staying up late and trying to hunt crystal boxes because There was like a sale on Railgun for M1, and M1 was still pretty hard to get back
so
then.
you're one of those players who have been hated back in the day, right?
Yeah, I just sat with Mammoth in the big maps waiting for the crystal boxes to drop. So that's what
it was a fun PvE moment in the game when the certain players were just, how you say it, voluntarily bots, just like you are, just sitting there farming crystals.
I had Mammoth Railgun. I was not very good. I was saving up for Railgun M1 back then because I sucked. So M1 was the best I could ever get to.
So let me tell you how it was for me. So it was pretty much the same experience, albeit a bit earlier. The Moon Silence, I think it's late 2012 or even 2013. In 2011, they just released the Ricochet, Thunder, and Freeze combo. So I was back then.
Mm-hmm.
And initially, I was looking forward for Thunder, Viking Thunder combo, but the Thunder, it was really interesting, the progression back in the day. So there was they call it lineyka in Russian. There was lines, or I don't know how do you say it in English. So there was tier 1 weapons and tier 2 weapons. And tier 1 weapons, it's Smoky, Twins, and Firebird. And tier 2 weapons is a Freeze, Thunder, and Ricochet. But the Railgun and Isida, they were like in the middle, like 1.5 tier or something like that. So I was looking forward for Thunder because I was looking for something long range, but I couldn't get it, and because it was quite expensive. And when I got it, it was M0 or M1, and at that point, M3 Railgun was better than that turret. So you got the gun, but you cannot use it because it sucks. So you need to use different guns. So I was camping on the plateau, I mean a highland. It's highland maps called.
Okay.
So what I was doing is, while others trying to farm crystals and the gold boxes, and oh my god, since then I hate the gold catchers who joined only for 700 crystals and then leave the game, because that was like, you need to understand the dynamics at the time. So you were sitting from the beginning of the match, waiting till 700 crystals mark, and it's about an hour or so. There were no players. At around 500 or 600 crystals, there are a bunch of players going in, and they start killing one another, and they pumped. I mean, they got the stuff. They got M3, they got full paints. You cannot hurt them. So all I was doing was sitting in the backyard and trying to, what is it? How is it? How do you say it in English? Basically, I was looking for the players who got softened by other players and trying to kill them. Kill steal? Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah, steal kills.
Sorry. Many terms are in Russian in my hand, so I kind of trying to translate it. So I was kill stealing from the back of the yard, and I was never hoping to catch a gold boxes. Seriously, I catched a gold box, a first one, 2 years in the game. Okay, 2 years. I couldn't touch it because, oh my god. And then I got finally got my M2 and then M3 Thunder, and that was, oh my god, that was glorious. Oh, I did some stuff with that gun. And then they released the shaft, and then I joined the commentators, testers, and cybersport. And then they released the Rebalance, that 1, 2, 3 update, and I left the game because that was bullshit. The way they done it, I mean, I was a tester at the time, so you can understand. I told them that what are you doing with the balance is not going to work, and they released it, and it didn't work. And then I was like, okay, I'm done, goodbye. And then a few months later, they like, okay, do you want to be a game designer? And I was like, hell yeah, okay, let's go. And I left my city, I joined the crew, and since then I'm working on tanking, and I've seen some stuff. I mean, I was kind of new to the game development. I was in a modding before, you know. I mean, Warcraft and stuff. Oh my god, that Warcraft editor is like still in my heart. So I joined the team, and I was like beginning game developer, and I learned a lot since then, because basically I'm still here and all the other people are not, so it tells something. And I've seen how it goes with this project, so I'm here. I can tell you about many different things, how it's happened to the project, why it's happened, and why the project where it is today. So I will shut up for a few moments right now, so you can ask a few questions about that time or maybe something else.
Sure. So, how come some things take so darn long to come and introduced into the game? Like the keys update, I think it was announced back in June. How come it takes so long to bring it to the game?
So just to let you know, they are going in fast, like incredibly fast these days, because 2013, 2014, that was the years when there were like 2 major updates in a whole year.
Yeah.
Okay. In a year, in 1 year. They were like rebalance and micro upgrades and friend system, and that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe supply kits or something like that, and that was pretty much it. And what is going on is actually incredibly fast. I know it's hard to perceive, but it is actually true. And that reflects the number of people on the project. And what I've just said, you need to understand the number of people on the project. Back in the day, there were fewer people than it is right now.
Oh, wow.
By a mile.
How many people is it now?
So, it's more than 10. Okay. I mean, the people who actually do the code. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't count community managers, tech support, and stuff like that, because players generally ask about who's making the code, right? Not about the rest of the stuff. So those people are important, but anyway, the people who make code, it's more than 10 people. Back in those days, there were 2.
Dang.
Let me that thing sink in, because that's actually incredible. That was years when the project was in its prime. There was a lot of players, but the actual developer team wasn't on this project. Now, I've seen a lot of your videos, and I think you know several projects that Alternative Platform and Alternativa Games these days have done. They've done through these years. Can you name a few of them?
I remember you guys were working on a mobile game a while back. Is that?
Yeah.
You guys gave up on that, right?
Yeah.
And then Tanky X shut down. I'm guessing you guys just weren't making enough money from it to warrant it being online anymore.
I need to disclose about TankX a bit. I wasn't on the team, but I was consulting the team, so I know a few stuff about what happened to TankX, and I know how people love the TankX, and I know how people think that was a better version of Tank Online. Yeah. It was, but it wasn't making enough money.
Yeah, I think Tanky was at its highest.
Go into details on
TankX,
a little bit later if you want. So.
Quick question.
Hey, detective.
How much of the
detective comes in? Okay, go on.
Yeah, how much of the development is working on like the switch to HTML5 on mobile? And how is that like? How is that making a difference in how other features are being developed?
Okay, we got 2 on this specific task, and this is. One of them is the original creator of Tank Online. Okay? So he knows this game, and he knows what he's doing. And what they're actually doing right now is trying to do something that haven't been done in Tanky for many years. They're trying to optimize it. Like, you remember HD skins, right? They're coming into the game, and you want more of them, right?
Yeah.
But the game back in the day had no HD skins and was optimized that way. Now, when you have it in HD skin, we have counted you need 300 milliseconds to load the skin into the game. This is why you feel stutter. This is the reason, because players leave and join in and change equipment, and every time they do that, they reload the tank. and you feel that stutter.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's a half of a problem for the main game, but for the mobile game, it's a problem that the mobile devices are much more limited in terms of memory, right? So we need to change how we say that. So we need to optimize the memory, basically. Okay. So we need to load, like a fake bad-looking tank in the game first, and then it's basically called LOD, level of detail, something like that. We already have that, but there are ways to optimize that, so we can downgrade the game to the 4 gigabytes of memory, and then it will work. I mean, for the mobile game right now, we have run the calculations, and we realize that the version we have right now, if we release it, we'll lose half of the mobile players, which is not good,
How big how many mobile players are in the game, like compared to
Yeah,
PC players?
I cannot tell you because NDA stuff like that, but
Okay.
it's a considerable amount,
Okay.
and losing half of that considerable amount is not a good idea.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing right now. We're trying to go from the half to 20, maybe 10%, because inevitably you need to update your devices and stuff like that in order to HTML5 to work. And there is a reason why we're using the HTML5, even if it is more demanding. We still need to switch to that because, it's really hard to explain. But when you have a small development team and you have like 2 or maybe sometimes even 3 game engines for your game, it's like you're trying to plan for some feature, and you need to twice that for every engine you need to support. So when we had Flash, HTML5, and Android at the same time, yeah, I mean, someone had to make all of that code. So they're working on Kotlin, and they're transfer the code to action script for the Flash, and then for the whatever Android is running on, I forgot. That took a lot of time. So the main idea is to make the best of the team, so we can just concentrate on a single or maybe 2, I don't know, just 2 engines for the time being.
Oh wow. And what's the plan?
That's why it's taking too long. So what's the plan? Yeah, what's the plan?
Hint here.
The plan with adding the
Possible.
iPhone.
Just one of you.
Okay, Detective, you can go.
Okay, so if once they complete this HTML5 transition, they'll be able to do updates even quicker potentially.
Yep. We won't like the keys, right? We still need to support keys for Android, but we're not doing that right now. Because we are confident that the HTML5 version will be ready by that time. But will it though? I'm not sure, because I have the end date, like the deadline, and it's not that far away, and I'm not sure. We will be able to how fast support, seriously, how fast support the Android for the keys. We'll see how it goes. I'm really sorry for all our mobile players, because we have neglected the mobile version for quite a while right now. But again, I need to talk about the history of the game and the history of development of the game to explain why this is happening. So yeah.
And then what's the plan with adding it to iPhones? Is that still
Yes.
Is that a problem on iPhone's end or y'all's end?
Yeah, it was always been a problem, but it's like they upgrade their systems as well. So we will look into it after the HTML5 will hit Android. And right now there are some issues with macOS, as far as I remember, but the fixed client is already ready. We've been waiting people back from the Sunday to update this version so the macOS will work back again. Okay. And how much time will it take to run the game on iOS? I don't know, because there are some issues with HTML5 and this version. The Apple, they don't really like different other browsers in their system, right?
Yes.
And right now,
confirm that.
huh? Yeah, so they don't like it, and we're using basically like stripped down Chrome for our client, and we have launched this game on Safari, and it kind of worked. Okay, so there are some issues, but they like we think they're solvable, and we stopped at that. So we've switched back to the HTML5 on the Android, and when we'll come back, we'll see how many time it will take then. Because right now, as far as I remember, people trying to persuade Apple to allow different browsers in their system, and if they commit, that will be insanely fast for us to, the game will work just at the same moment. It will just happen.
Okay.
And it's kind of an issue. So yeah.
Can we bring over Jumper to the? Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, we got Jumper in here now.
No, we got half of English YouTubers right here, right?
Well, I
Who are
think
we missing?
Jumper and I were the only people in the YouTuber TO server to actually get over 20,000 views last month, which is a bit sad, unfortunately. So I guess that's another question. Do you guys have any plans to like promote uploading YouTube videos? Because typically, the more people uploading, the more people come back to the game, is what I've noticed sometimes.
Problem is early.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So how should I come to?
Maybe you can.
So
talk
basically,
about
what's going on?
Early tanky, how
What?
low ranks were.
How is early game working, right?
How like low rank, like how did kind of what I'm talking about, like, is how many people stayed back in like early tanky?
Oh
How
yeah.
many people
So
stayed in the game when they joined versus kind of now what's happening?
yeah. Now we have more time. We have more players staying than leaving these days.
That's
So
good.
why the hell we have less online, right? I need to explain this because this is like interesting thing that I can see because I can see data and the players don't see it and they perceive the game backwards. So you can actually think that I perceive the game backwards because of this. So I need to explain it. Back in the day when the tank online hit like crazy good numbers, like 130,000 peak concurrent players, that's a lot for any game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like, oh my god, many games would kill for that. There was a point when we had more numbers than War Thunder for quite a while. So what happened and why this happened? And some people think that game was better than this one. It's not entirely true. I mean, that was a very different game back then because for many reasons. It was stripped down, very basic. But this wasn't the reason why there were so many players. We're trying to understand that for a long time, so I know what I'm talking about. The reason why there was so many players back then is that because the Tank Online was the only game in 3D on Flash,
Yeah.
It's the reason why I joined this game. So a little bit of my background, right? I myself a console player, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't play many PC games. I didn't play it. I had my PlayStation back in the day, the Nintendo and stuff like that. I played that. So when I was in university, in uni, I didn't have my console with me because parents, they're like, why the hell you need a console? You need to study. So I had to switch to PC gaming, and my GPU died. Basically, that's what happened. So I couldn't play games, but I wanted.
Yeah.
So out of desperation, I made my way into the hell of computer gaming, which was back in the day, especially in Russia. It was the browser gaming, because that was, like the days of the early Farmville and stuff like that. That was insane. And when the games you learn to play is like, Mario, Metal Gear and stuff like that, Ace Combat and all of this stuff, and then you have to play this, it's like, no, you don't want to do that. But there is only that was the only games you could find. And at that point, when I've seen the banner of the 3D game, right, that can run on my dead PC, and that was Tanky Online. Oh my god, that saved me. That saved gaming for me, right?
Yeah.
For a couple of years. So that's why I joined Tanky, and that's why many people back in the day joined Tanky, because that was the other games at the time, they were like 60 gigabytes already for download, and like no, just don't. You don't want to do that. This game was always light back in the day, and it was easily accessible, and that's why the numbers went up, because it was the advertising basically running on those sites, so like Miniclip and stuff like that, right? And you don't expect see this kind of game there. This is why all the players got sucked into the Tank Online. So if you need to understand how the number of players playing the game works, you need to imagine yourself a pool, right? A pool with a water, you know.
Okay.
Okay. So the pool had two holes, okay? Through the one hole, the water is coming in. Through the other hole, the water is coming out, okay? So back in the day, there were insane number of people going in and a bit less people going out. I mean, I remember that back in the day, and the producer at the time of the project told me that after sergeant rank, you know, even before the warrants, like most of the players left the game. And that was 2013, right? Okay. It's before the game hit the maximum numbers. This game was bad, like bad, capital bad. But the amount of people coming in was just insane. It was ludicrous. I mean, most of them were Russian players, so that's why you might don't feel like it. But, you know, in Russia, weaker PC and stuff like that. So the numbers were really insane. But the amount of players we lost back then was just, it was just horrible. And the game was even more pay to win back then than today. I know many people would disagree, but do you actually know that back in the day, the difference between M0 and M4 is like 3 times, not 2 times like today? It's like the same hull is 1000 HP on M0 and 3000 HP on the M4.
Oh. And
supplies were not available at all, so you can only grind them. Like, yeah. I need to tell you, like, my experience with supplies, right? I didn't use them for a year. Okay, I played the game. I didn't use supplies. I told myself.
Supplies. That was like a super common thing. I would always save them for like when I have a flag.
Or gold.
Yeah.
I still remember that game. That was the map of Iran, and I had 700 of each supply. And at that moment, there was some cocky guys on the enemy team, and I was like, screw it. Let's push all the buttons. And I was using Viking and Shaft, and I destroyed them. And they were like, what if you run out of supplies? And I told them, dare you. Okay? That was a fun moment, but that took a year of accumulating only 700 of each supply.
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy at the moment. So the thing is, we had a lot of players, but we had a lot of players not because we were some smart or we had the golden game on our hands. It actually backwards, because we've been in they call it a blue ocean of many players coming in and a lot of players coming out, but we've been in a blue zone anyway. So after that, the internet changed. It was 2015. And in 2015, if you know the story of YouTube, they have done something to the algorithm. Do you remember that?
I started uploading in late 2016. I don't remember exactly.
Okay, so I'll tell you what. It's 2015. It's when the PewDiePie became number one, right?
Oh, okay.
And what the algorithm back in the day on the YouTube, it was favoring the longer videos, and especially those videos that been watched from the beginning to the end, the Let's Plays, right? I mean, the simple Catch a Gold was like 2 million views, just some music, some cutting, some goals, and 2 million views. Like, what the hell? How does it work? How does it make sense? And this is why it made sense back in the day, because that's how algorithm worked. But in 2015, they changed that. and immediately it was like the same as they've changed the YouTube before when the cat videos become unpopular. It was like in a day they just released it and stuff had changed. And then at the moment when two things happened. First is their advertising become expensive for the game. So that's when we stopped advertising the game at all. It was 2015. Because the banners wasn't working that good anymore. The games shifted to social media, and everyone had a nice iPhone in 2015 already. So the browser gaming was kind of dead at the moment. The fact that we were big was just like a huge exception.
Yeah,
that's the first thing that happened. So we've stopped advertising the game at all. And the second thing that happened is like Russian YouTubers realized something's up because their viewership stopped growing.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can now see why, because they've started the influx of new viewers from the platform stopped, and we stopped the advertisers, right? So they're like they're doing the same thing, but the viewership gone down.
Yeah,
and they didn't know why, and they thought we done something to the game and we done something bad, so the developers to blame, and oh my god, the bad developers. So they made a few videos that were about how developers are bad, and the viewership went up because when you're making a shitty content, the people just come in for the giggles, right?
True.
And that worked for a while, but that destroyed the relationship and destroyed the how the game is perceived. And when the top YouTubers tell you that the game is bad, you're like, why am I even playing? So they tanked their own viewership even more with that action. But the game itself, it didn't. It wasn't like that. Because at the moment when, these days, if you don't advertise the game is dead, right?
Yeah.
It's a miracle if you release the game
like
and it is so fun
RPM.
and cool. It's like people start to share in it and people playing for a while, something like that. My personal favorite is a game called what was that? It was like Halo and the Portal. Splitgate, right?
Splitgate, yeah. That came out and died
Splitgate.
instantly.
Yeah, it died twice.
Mm-hmm.
It died twice actually, because first it was released on the PC. And it was good, it was fun, and it died. Mm-hmm. And they didn't give up. They took their time and they released it on consoles. And when they released it on consoles, holy shit, there was 700,000 players a day. It's like, oh my god. People strike gold. But within a week, right? Within a week.
That's crazy.
The numbers went down, like bang. Because at this point you need to realize something about games. The arena shooters are dead, right? Mm-hmm. Nobody plays them for reasons, because arena shooters are too hard. They are too fast. The tank line, on the other hand, did not die at the moment when we stopped advertising. I mean, it was 2015. It's 2023. It's been 8 years. Right.
Yeah.
It will be soon be 9 years. We still do not advertise. We're not dead.
Any idea like how much the player base has shrunk, or
the numbers. I mean, the active, peak current active players. We stopped showing it only this year, so you pretty much understand how many.
Okay, so it's like
it went from 130,000. It went down to I don't know what the last number you've seen, maybe 10,000 or something like that.
Yeah, it was like
something like that.
6,000 to 8,000, I believe. That's what I typically saw on the Tanky server. Or I think it was announced on the official server. That's where it was seen.
Anyway, the number went down to really a lot. I mean, we lose all the fat, but in the game development, it went other way around. I mean, inside of the game development. And this is the most interesting part about this game, because right now the development team have more confidence in the game than before that, for many reasons that I might try to explain on this stream.
Okay.
Right now, this game is stable. I can tell you that. So we're not going down too much. Like we are trying to, we're trying with a small advertising just to test it. A little bit of tests here and there. This is why we cannot shut up about the beginning of the game on the vlogs. Even if you don't see it, we've changed actually a lot because for 5 years the game didn't have a tutorial. Like for 10 years the game didn't have a tutorial, and right now there's things been changing, and bots made a huge difference. Like, oh my god, the people start playing the game at least for a few ranks. It's like huge difference, you know. And we have starting to feel where we can find the people to play the game, you know. Not like you don't need a mainstream advertising for this game, you know.
How can you tell the difference between old players coming back and just making new accounts and how many new players
Oh yeah. You know, so we know about that, and I cannot disclose you all the data, but we know when the player is a returning player or the mult or the new player entirely. Okay.
Okay, and you can see
sometimes
are staying more than in the past.
So basically, what's happened is the advertising is working better and better with each iteration we get, and less and less people live in the game. Okay, that's what's happening right now. But it's not really that important. I know it's important for you because you're waiting for the players to come in so you can have a huge viewership.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you when. This is our goal because we're not giving up on this game at all, and for reasons I try to explain to you with the game development is the other way around. But I cannot tell you when this is gonna happen because things takes time, especially like this. Okay, so how should I put it? I have an idea how to explain you why it's even harder than to make a new game to fix the tank line as it is, because you know.
I mean, I think it's pretty clear because you have like a lot of. You can't start from scratch, so you already have a lot of players. Like for example, very strong augments. You kind of have to balance it, making the augments worth it to get, but also that they don't completely destroy the balance. And you kind of have power creep here, where you just like all the time you want to make the augments better, so people keep on feeding like their.
At least we don't add new modifications, you know, stuff like that. So the power creep in the game is kind of minor, and time to time we trim it. You know, like the augments are still got nerfed, especially when they added to normal containers. You know the fun part that I've noticed a few days ago, the ricochets Helios, right?
Yeah.
I love it.
A month ago, the people were like complaining that Helios is OP. Oh my god, stop it, remove it from the game, stuff like that. But as soon as I added it to the standard containers, you know what happened?
Everyone wanted it buffed again.
The feedback disappeared. Everybody were like, "We're okay with that. It's actually not bad. It's hard to use. You need to catch your opponent when he cannot use the repair kit and stuff like that. You know, you need to find people who don't use the resist modules and stuff like that. So it's it turned out the other way around. So it's kind of hilarious. And the plan is it still is to every augment we add to the game right now. It will eventually made it into the standard containers. Well, except Pulsar and stuff like that, you know, the special ones. But we will keep the power creep on the same level because I have certain games on my list that I play and they avoid power creep to as much as they can, and it benefits the game in the long run. And if anything, we are about the long run. If you can see it, like, oh my god, in the next year it will be 15 years, right?
Yeah.
Tank Online is holy shit. Yeah, and that's why we need to update the game. Okay.
I still feel like if you look at like old gameplay from like 2015, you can see that like it took tanks a long time to destroy other tanks. Like the pace of gameplay was a lot slower. While today you can like one-shot people a lot easier. So I feel like a lot of people would be a bit annoyed by that, but Do you have like a response?
I need to explain it because it's not entirely true. Because I have my, the balance sheets from back in the day, right? And the amount of shots the standard Thunder needs against the standard medium hull is the same. It didn't change, right? The speed at which this is happening might change, but not the number of shots. And the time to kill did not shift too much. But there are more options these days. So we have options to, one-shot people in certain circumstances. And after we've changed the drones and still don't introduce certain augments back, you can feel like you have more stuff to, deal damage rather than to save yourself. That is definitely going to change when the grenades will be implemented. That might be a spoiler, but I think we told that in a video log, maybe, I don't know, or we hinted. There will be a grenade specifically made to protect you.
Oh wow! So different types of grenades.
So there will be different types of grenades, and you will have options to protect you. First of all, when you throw a grenade, if you have a striker aiming at you or a Gauss, his aim will be turned off at the moment. He will have to re-aim at you from the beginning. This is already implemented, I think. And we'll have a smoke grenades, guys, and they will work because Valorant. Okay, we are copying the Valorant grenades to the tank line.
So you're taking some inspiration from Valorant?
Yeah, sure. Because you need to game to stay relevant and fun. You need to look for the best game design you can find. And the Valorant smoke grenades, I know that Counter-Strike is way more, realistic, and especially their latest iteration. But what Valorant done, they introduced the version of grenades that is really suitable for tanking line, like a sphere of black. You threw that, and those shafts and railguns on the other side of the, on the map, and even the Magnum, they can kill you, but they need to hit you.
Yeah, they can't see you,
and they can't see you. And even if they cheat and remove the the black sphere, we have done it so the auto aim is turned off if you look on the enemy through the smoke. Okay, so you cannot shoot him anyway. And it's also a troll weapon because do you guys hate campers in your own team?
I hate campers in
I
general.
hate that a lot.
I'm a very fast-paced player, so. Okay,
so picture this. If you have a bunch of campers sitting on your base and you hate them really, really, really much, if you hate them more than your enemy team, where will your smoke grenade will go?
You're gonna troll them.
Yeah. I'm kind of on the edge about this one because trolling is, bad, but I have to try it, man. You can smoke your own team, okay? You can smoke your own team, and they won't be able to shoot unless they move.
Okay,
No.
I like that.
I'm not sure where it will get us, but the grenades is actually something that we're missing for a long time because I'm playing with grenades right now for many days, and I feel like I got a second arm, something like that. I have in my one arm is my regular gun. I'm trying to use it. I'm trying to shoot the enemy, but sometimes he's trying to hide, he's trying to camp, or he's trying to change elevation. And now I have my second arm, like the grenade, and I can you're hiding in that wally, right? Okay, there goes grenade, and I go the other way around. You're trying to shoot me in the back. Okay, you're dead. That's fun. So anyway, that was the whole spiel about the perceived. How you say that? The tank are dying too fast right now. We can see it, and we have tools to fix it. Okay.
Okay.
So we're not looking for the game to become faster and faster and faster. We don't want to turn this game into a normal arena shooter because arena shooters are dead.
Where everyone just dies fast, respawns fast, over and over and over.
Yeah, it was happening before. I mean, when you were playing M1 against M3, the speed at which you died was pretty much the same. Trust me, I still remember that, and I have the videos. But we don't think that, I think 2 years ago, we tried and pushed the HP of every hull twice as much. If you remember that experiment, it was bad. I mean, the game felt bad. Like the people just pushing one another, couldn't kill. The shooting was not fun at all. And we were like, okay, this is not how it goes. And we still need to add fun augments so you can have ways to kill people instantly. But on the other hand, we need to add some tools. And it's not only the smoke grenade, okay? There will be others. I mean, like, we need some countermeasures. And I'm literally going to make a countermeasure grenade. And I'm not going to tell you what it's going to do, but it's going to be hilarious.
Okay. I would say that, like, I don't really mind the pace of the game. I actually kind of enjoy it. It's pretty fun. I'm more worried about like new players who don't really know how to deal with the pace of the game.
So your video about the grenades. Yes, I've seen it. Yeah, you're right to think about that. This is a problem, but the solution you introduce is actually will work backwards because we tried it already. Okay. Back in the day on the mobile, we made the auto use of the supplies, and it worked differently. It worked backwards because what it made so the players don't understand what supplies are, and they don't care because they are on auto use from the beginning of the game. So we learned that the hard way. So it doesn't work. So, but we know how to fix it. It just will take a few times. The bots really helped, like immensely helped.
Yeah.
But we need more of the bots. We need the bots mixed with players. We need to make a few games when you have a few players on your team and a few players on the enemy team, and the rest of them are bots. We need to make that. And we need to gradually increase the number of normal players. And on the legend ranks, you need to play against only the normal players. But in the beginning of the game, more bots, because bots are, well, they don't complain, and they like to die. That's what I can say about the bots. And they are fun to bless you. And they are fun to shoot. And I mean, even in the first game, if you could use grenade in the first game against bots, you could like triple kill, quadruple, like pentakill at the moment. It's actually really hilarious. And we're going to end grenades in the beginning of the game specifically for that, so makes some fun moments. Yeah, so and that is our focus right now. As I've said, we're working on make new players stay in the game way longer than it is right now. And we are doing, good. We're doing fine. We finally see the progress we haven't seen for many years because, so before I will tell you about the history of development of the game, because this history is like the place when I can cry, okay? Let's answer a few questions from the chat, right? I think you have some.
One of the main questions I'm seeing a lot is what's going on with Pulsar and status effects, because they are pretty frequent. If I can, they're just overwhelming. It seems recently. You need to stay cool for another week, and then there will be a patch that will address it. Okay.
But what is interesting for me? It wasn't a problem 2 months ago or a month ago, right? It wasn't a problem. No one been complaining about that. It's a recent event. And the only thing I changed, okay, is I run one event so you can get the freeze pulsar, and I changed how the Vulcan works, right? That's it. Nothing else changed. And now all of a sudden you have like, you feel like you are being, like status are everywhere. It's a feeling, right?
Yeah,
and that's what I hear. So this is why important. I have like a list, how people because I have a feedback weekly, right? And I can compare it through the weeks, and I can see what are the people, what are people bothered, and I can see like the effects come into play like a month ago, and before that nobody was caring about them. It was actually interesting. So it's not a huge problem. We'll fix it. It'll be okay. The goal for that is not to, it's not a pay to win thing, right? What we're trying to do with the augments is like make a content, like options, right? There is no much reason to make them OP that much. The OP stuff, I've been saying that on a forum. I think we're making the new augments OP not because we like want them to sell more. They selling all right, okay? It's not a problem. The people like buying them. The problem is if we don't buff them and the players will not understand how this augment work. We had a few augments like status augments, right? That they weren't working that good, you know? You might remember that a few months ago there were like, I don't remember what was that. There's a Thunder or a Striker, and there was some like, you know, EMP or stuff like that, and they weren't fun. They weren't doing something. They were like the different augments were better, and the people like skipped it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a bad thing when you are trying to make a new content and the content is like meh, and that's a problem. That's why we might overbuff it on the release. But we'll fix it eventually, because this is actually a motto for this game. It's a like serious thing. We are not looking for power creep at all. Like even the grenades, we're trying to implement them like side grade, like the new tool, like the new arm that you're doing. It's not like we're trying to buff the, you know, the power creep the game into oblivion. Because why do you need to, you know, release the better augments if the easier way how you can do about it is just add another modification, right?
Okay.
Made MK8, MK9, MK10, and
What's going on with Sledgehammer for Thunder?
Oh,
Like,
what it
what's
says.
going on with them?
it's
Sledgehammer Thunder, it's an augment. All right. So if the augment is an epic or the rare, it impacts them.
yeah, but Sledgehammer for Thunder, it's like the only augment that using it is actually completely detrimental. Like,
Yeah, maybe I'm over nerfed it at some point. Maybe I did.
I mean, try using it for like a couple minutes. The problem is
It's
you
pretty
can't
bad.
do any like meaningful damage without doing self damage.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe
So,
remove
so
self damage, but like, it's tough. Just that.
I think it's a thing, and trust me, I see it in my KPIs. So I track the numbers on all the augments. It's a bit daunting, but I can see that the Thunder had a strange moment when the normal Thunder is better than the certain augments, and I will eventually fix it. And it just, you know, takes time.
So we have a question here from Ghost Animator. He's uploading. Hopefully,
Oh,
he
yeah.
says he's going to upload a video in the next few weeks, maybe. Hopefully, he says
We
currently.
don't trust until we see it.
Yeah.
And until it's going to be the best goddamn animation so far, we won't believe him. Okay, I like his animations. I want to see more of them. So okay, let's go.
He says, "What is the average rank that a new player is reaching?"
Oh, I can tell you. I can't tell you that for reasons you know.
Yeah.
That's because the really important part of the game. But yeah, you know, if many years ago the Sergeant rank is where the players all the players left, so you can guess. Okay, it's not really far from that.
Okay.
I mean, it's improved over the years, but it's still like it shows like many players left the game really early.
Okay. And then another question is, are you guys planning to bring back the M1 through M3 skins? Because those, I like them because they created a sense of progress when you're slowly moving. Because now you have the same exact HD skin throughout, which kind of takes away from that progression a little bit, I think. So do you have plans to add more progression skins maybe?
They were saying for me, and I was looking to do that, you know, like bring them back. But the current HD skins are too goddamn expensive in the production. Like,
To make
if you
multiple
can count, we'll make you know, like 6, I think, per year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we still haven't done with the standard skins, and we're not selling them. You know, we're just updating them, right? So
Yeah.
half of the skins we're making is just like free skins. And it took us, I think, 3 years to update all the skins to HD. And it's like, if I'm going to make few modifications, it's gonna take me another 3 years. And I like, oh my god, no, it's never gonna happen. Help me and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking for, you know, like I try to do that with Phoenix augments, right?
Yeah.
some sort of a progression. It's bullshit, I know, 5 million points. So like, oh my god. Anyway, it's one way to do it.
So
Yeah.
much.
I know that's a lot. I know it's a reason why, you know. So the players, when they have this Phoenix in the top, and other players can see them having Phoenix in the top, all the game would be like, oh my god, are you fucking crazy? You did that. Sorry, swearing.
There
Anyway,
you
this is why I made it for the 5 million points. Anyway, so back to the skins. I think we will try it at some point, because we still haven't done, you know, like achievements in the game, and having the skins for achievements is like the best thing in the gaming, like ever, right?
Mhm.
And we need to look into it. I think we like, you know, do you know like GT turret skins? They're like the laziest skins ever made, right?
Gosh, yes.
But that is experiment, because what are we going to do with the skin about wheels, but with the turret? What are we going to do? Put a wheel on a turret? Like what? So we try to make some stripes, like, you know, like the car, the driving the sport car or something like that.
Racing
And
stripes.
it's kind of working, and it made it made us realize that we actually can try something like that for the normal skins. But first, what we need to do is we need to finish the normal skins, right? We
Okay.
have 3 skins left. And then the art team told me, you know, after all of these 3 years, we actually learned a lot. So there will be a few skins that we will remake.
Oh,
And I
cool.
was like, okay, I have nothing to say against that, because yes, you do you guys you know how to do stuff in arts, okay? All I need to do is supply you with time and money, so that's what I'm doing, so they can make a few more you know, cool skins and stuff. So I think we will try. Definitely, we will try, because it's like. My own understanding of what is the best progression for the game is like changing through the time, and right now I think it's kind of, you need both. Like you need a paid skins, but you still need like not the worst like, no, how you say that, you don't need a bad skins to be just for progression. No, you need the good skins. They need to look unique. So when you equip a certain skin, you need to know that this guy had bought this skin on Halloween. This guy had bought his skin on the UFO day, and this guy grinded this stuff.
Like the old
So
Firebird demonic.
yeah. So you need to like return that feeling. You need to have options. So this is why I'm quite confident that we'll try it again. I'm not sure that we're going to make like, you know, every modification have its own skin, because oh my god, that's a lot of money. Like I'm telling you, man, I have seen the bottom line, and it's like a lot. It takes a few months. It takes several people. It's outsourced, and it still takes like you know, crazy amount of money to make.
So
But yeah.
we got a list of questions like that we just compiled from the community and just personally. And if you want to just look over it and kind of pick your favorites, pick the ones that you think could kind of like lead your answers.
Yeah,
that'd be-
maybe. But before I do that, let me actually go back and tell you the story about how this game were developed back in the day, right?
Okay,
So
cool.
then you can actually see through the questions yourself and understand what you can ask.
Okay.
So the Tanki team and the people who were working in Tanki, there were less people back in the day than today by a mile. So just 2 coders against more than 10 coders, it's like a huge difference. Anyone who's trying to work on a project knows that.
Yeah.
So what was happening? It's kind of an interesting story, because like if you look at other projects, even Tanki projects, you can see like they invested back into the game many times. They improved their own game, and only then, when the game got bigger and better, they like looking for different projects. The Tanki did the other approach. And I can't really tell you why, because I'm not I'm not the top brass. I'm not the business guy. I mean, I'm in the head of the game development, but it's not making me in the head of the company, right? So I don't. I can propose strategic decisions, and I can propose the strategy, but I cannot act. I mean, I cannot decide which one will company use. So back in the day, the company decided that Tanki is like it's okay, but it's a flawed project in space, right? Because you could see, like in the first days when they're trying to add new turrets and hulls to the game, it led to the rebalance, and it happened because the game wasn't suited to adding new guns, and it was like a disaster, and the people hated the developers, and it was the first time the developers read a lot of hate towards themselves, and they were like, what are we doing? you know.
Yeah.
So that influenced a lot in hindsight how the game was perceived by the developers, and they were like, okay, the Tanki 2.0 is a good project, but we scrapped it, and we have told told the players that we're going to make the Tanki 1.0 into Tanki 2.0 step by step. But they kind of don't really like it, and we every time we're trying to do something like change how the game looks, the players are against it for some reason. So maybe we should just make a new project anyway.
Okay.
So that happened. There were several Tanki projects to replace Tanki Online. The first of them was, Tanki 2.0. You have seen that. After that, there was like something called Tanki HD. It was like an HD client for the game, right? And then it was the first Unity prototype. You might seen it in the vlog, I don't know, 30 or something. There were like Thunder and Viking. It was the first time there were like, they're transforming when using supplies. I mean, oh my god, that's the best feature ever. I'm so angry we cannot still make skins that can transform, but trust me, when we'll be able to make them, we will make them. There will be transforming skins in Tanki. We just need to make certain updates to the game engine so to make it happen, but we will do it, okay? We will have transforming tanks back, because oh my god, that feature was awesome. Anyway, after that, the Tanki HD turned into the Unity project, and Unity project turned into Tanki X project, and Tanki X project was cool, but it didn't do that well for obvious reasons, because initially that was a replacement of original Tanki Online, right? But
and
then
Tanki was doing really well at the time, so.
Thing happened, right? So first of all, you need to compete with Tanki Online, and that wasn't an option back in the day, because I told them you need to make more maps and more stuff. You need to overkill Tanki Online with content, and they were like, we don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, the maps, the skins, everything were way longer, harder to make than for Tanki Online. We could pump skins every week or something like that back in the day. And we had 80 plus maps, so good luck. Like you're making one map in a year, 80 years, and you will can step on our plane, something like that. And eventually, the project wasn't doing that good financially speaking. But that wasn't the reason. As I see it, okay, initially the project were meant to be a browser project, but the Unity was kicked out of the browser. PPI, that was called something like that. It was turned off. Pretty much at the same time when the Flash was turned off, because certain exploits could possible and stuff like that. So the Unity were denied with browsers, and at the moment we had a project we've been working for quite a while. It was almost ready to launch, and then we had the news that it's not going to be a browser project. It's like, picture yourself working making a game for a certain console, and then you have a news that this console is cancelled, and you have the game on your hands, and what do you do?
That's hard.
Yeah, that was a devastating blow to the game, because it was, from the core, it was meant to be the browser game, right? Many things were done like that in game design and stuff like that, but then it turned out to be the standalone downloadable client. And it's like an entirely different playfield, right?
Yeah.
The only thing that made Tanki X survive for a while at that moment, I think, was a trailer. It was, oh my god, it was good trailer. And trust me, many times I ask people, can we use that trailer for Tanky Online? And everyone told me, no, this is a bad idea. And it is a bad idea, but this trailer is just that good because that trailer it made it made you think that this game is actually big and cool, though it wasn't. They tried to add content, but there was really limited on content at the moment. So this game didn't do good, financially speaking. It tried for a few years, but it was eventually scrapped for the same reason. I know they tried a lot. There was different game designers on the projects. They were trying the different progression systems, stuff like that. Now, the content didn't make it. They need to rebuild the game from the scratch, and that was a huge blow for the company. I know how many money were spent there, and I need you to understand that those were the money who could stay in Tanky Online. They didn't. They went to Tanky X, and Tanky X flopped basically.
Dang.
Okay. So who liked that project? And at some point there was certain, mechanics tried in that game. So I can, because I was consulting the project, I know what they tried. Because their initial module system was meant for Tanky Online, but I've told them what were my plans, and they adapted for Tanky X and tried it, and I've seen how it works, and I decided to, you know what? I'm going to go a different route. So this is why we get augments, and one augment per tank and per turret, because this actually we've seen on tanks that it's not working that well. Because you don't understand what your enemy got. You can't remember the entire combo he brought into the game, and he got 5 active different abilities, and you're like, what the hell this tank is going to do to me? Is he gonna double shoot, or he's gonna blow, or he's gonna jump? I don't know what he's gonna do. Yeah. So, but that is not the end, okay? So all of that money went, and we still were working on different projects on the Tanky behalf. So the Tanky sponsored the King Hardcore. There was another project it was called Jeversey. It was PvP match 3. Can you even imagine PvP match 3?
I don't even know. What does that mean? Match 3?
You know what match 3 is, right?
What do you mean match?
Candy Crush.
Oh, okay.
So can you imagine the Candy Crush, but it's PvP?
That'd be
you don't, right? You don't.
I can't.
That's really hard, and we tried it. And back in the day, dude, the things we tried. Oh my god! So we had that. We had King Hardcore. There was another project I cannot tell you about because it was scrapped and it was mobile as well. And basically, right now, it's the first time ever that Tanky Online is using all the money the Tanky Online earning on themselves. Right?
Hey, that's
we are
good.
not making any side projects. All the money we earn go back into Tanky. And so to let you know, okay, this is why I'm telling you that the team right now is more people than before and more confident in the project, and we have more money. Right? It's you see how online, you see how many players gain. You think it's other way around, like we don't have money, we are about to close or something like that, right? No, I can even tell you how many millions of dollars this project made so far, right?
Oh, I can
and
imagine.
It didn't spend all of this money, right? Okay. It's sitting on a huge pile of money. It's ready to, make a market push, but it's not doing that. Because why? Because the start of the game had no tutorial. Why would you market the game if you know it doesn't work in the beginning of the game? If you know the people, if you don't market it, you don't waste money, just to waste money. So right now, this game is in a... and this is another thing you need to understand. 2 years ago, the new strategy was meant for the project, right? To re-innovate it. And the re-innovation is a huge stuff because it's not you need to fix the previous augments and stuff like that. No, it's way worse. You have a project that were neglected for 10 years, right? Technically speaking. It had 3 engines running, like outdated Flash, stuff like that. And you're like, oh my God. And you need to support all of this. You need to clean this up. You need to update the engine. You need to make certain things work. You need to fix the bugs. You need to fix the tutorial. And you need to make it while you have the live ops running, like live operations, events and stuff like that, all at the same time. And this is why we're not telling you what is going on. Because when I started this new strategy, I see it that way. Before, Tanki told the players many things, like, this is going to be Tanki 2.0. We will grow immensely. We will do this, do that, and we'll change things. And it didn't happen. So if I would told you that we have certain plans that are going to definitely work, you won't believe me. Like, why would you? This is why we're not telling what is going on until we are ready for this. Okay. So this is why we're we see that the number of players going a bit down. We have less money than before, but still, you need to understand this game is still making millions, dollars, yearly. Okay, shit tons of money. It's enough to.
Well, this is a question for later, but. It's more. I wanted to ask about the prices for the minigame recently. It seems like they went up, especially.
Okay. Before that, so what you need to understand about this game is self-sufficient from the 2010, and it's still self-sufficient today. Okay. So it's not like we are borrowing money. It's not like we're using investors' money. No, we are earning all of this money in the game, and we are spending it on the game. Many projects cannot have it. They don't. We have it. This is why we're just quietly doing our thing. It will take, maybe another year, but you will see the changes. At some point, we won't be able to hide things anymore, and you will realize what is going on. At some point, I said we are going for not just one game engine, and this kind of a spoiler. Anyway, so about the prices. That's intentional.
Okay.
But I'm not. Yeah, the lollipop with crystals, that's intentional. It's kind of an experiment, and it's kind of. It doesn't make sense. Yet it might work. Though I'm not sure that we will try it again because we will see how it works. Is people okay with that or not? It's basically if you want to do it faster, you need to pay a bit more crystals to do it faster. It's a strange logic, but we tried because these days we experiment with our live ops event a lot, and it works. Oh my God, it works. Yeah. So this is why we're still operating and stuff like that, and we're changing events time to time. I know people are saying events are the same, but they
106 viewers. Wow, guys.
Yeah,
awesome.
because I cannot make a new stuff for every event, but we're still trying to change a few things here and there. Right now, you have the longest Halloween ever, and this is actually it's not a one-time live ops event or something like that. We are going to shift the game for the longer events from now on, and you will see it after the New Year, especially.
Yeah, that's good as long as we get enough content for that many weeks.
Yes, and we will need to make it longer so we can adapt a new content, and this is why we are doing the keys.
Mm-hmm. The keys.
I've seen this question somewhere that is the game going to return into Netherlands and Belgium? Because we have shut down there because of the loot boxes.
Yeah.
Right?
And I live in Belgium as well.
So, just to let you know, the loot boxes. I fucking love loot boxes. Not because they make people pay, but because how the game industry works with them, the entire history. I learned the history of loot boxes in the games. I know about FIFA, I know about the Korean games and stuff like that. And I see what they're trying to do. And it's actually hilarious and it's actually interesting because recently many games like, the Overwatch, right? They shifted from the loot boxes to the Battle Pass. And the players of Overwatch were like, oh my God, it feels worse.
Oh yeah, people hate that.
right? If you know, you hate it because when you had loot boxes, you had a chance to get something. And I played the game back in the day, and I was like, yeah, cool, that's good. But when you're like going into the game and you realize that you need to play 3 months to get a skin, and it's like a job, you like hate it, and you thinking that loot boxes were better, and they were better because they are like, you know, having a chance to get something early is a good feeling, right?
Yeah.
And I was seeing that, and I understand what's going on. But then I've seen what Nintendo have recently done. You play any Nintendo games?
Who, all of
Any
us?
of you?
I play.
All of you. Okay.
Yeah.
Splatoon 3. Anyone?
I've heard of it. I don't play it though.
So in Splatoon 3, Nintendo done something that I've never thought Nintendo would do. They added loot boxes, right? But you cannot buy them. You cannot buy them. You cannot. No.
Yeah, that's
no.
what I also wanted to ask. To just remove loot boxes from Belgium and the Netherlands.
So this is the entire idea behind the keys. When we're separating the keys and the loot boxes, what are we allowed to do from that point on? First of all, the like common boxes, that's standard boxes right now, like standard containers, right? They are going to be completely free to play. You cannot buy them right now. You won't be able to buy them after they're going to be with the keys. And there will be a certain update to standard containers that you're going to like. And I'm not going to spill the beans because you'll need to wait. But you will realize why it's going to be. I mean, it's not only that they're going to yield you epic keys, right? It's not only that. There going to be something more, and you're going to love it. But then the epic keys will be actually sold in the store, so we can buy them.
Okay.
But you can just don't sell them in Belgium and Netherlands, right? So and that the game will work. They will have the containers. You will have the events, but it will comply to the local rules because that's what Nintendo done, and we see it, and we're like, oh my god, we need to do it. So it's not only Valorant we're looking, you know, it's not just that we're looking on other games as well. So this is our plan, and besides that, the actually contracts is linked to this whole idea.
Hey,
So
Interesting.
contracts.
this is why they are on pause for a while, because contracts they have a place in the game, certain place. They actually a substitute for the containers, for the loot boxes, right? And they are this kind of a substitute when they actually allow you to get things that you want for playing the game. Just you want the skin, okay, you will get the skin, but you need to play this game for this much.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
And
like
this is good.
it will be very difficult, like trophy missions, but you'll be able to specifically choose.
Yeah, and as you can guess, this is why they're like this is why they're on pause as well, because we see how the people perceive the Overwatch, what they've done, and we're like, we don't want to do that. So we're not gonna switch, from loot boxes just to battle pass. But we need to make the contracts certain way, so you will have the contracts and the loot boxes at the same time, right?
Okay.
So when you have a guarantee to get certain thing by playing the game, but you still have a chance to get them from loot boxes. Okay, so, because that will make sense. Because you still want to have a chance, but you want to like buy a guarantee, and you have this guarantee, and that will be sold in the stores that doesn't allow to sell loot boxes. Okay, it will take us time to get there, but eventually this system kind of works. We've seen it working, and we see that regulators are kind of okay with this, because you cannot ban these kind of loot boxes in the game, because it's like banning the World of Warcraft, with the chances of dropping stuff from the mobs, because that's basically a loot box. And when you turn the loot box like the random reward in the game, you cannot ban that, because otherwise you'll have to ban the entire game industry.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining it'll be really funny if someone buys a contract, grinds a bunch, and then right before he gets it, he gets the same thing from a container.
Yeah, so that will feel bad. So we need to do a certain specific thing so it won't feel bad, and you will not feel discouraged to still opening containers while you grinding the specific thing from a contract. You can think of ways how we're gonna do it, but I'm not gonna tell you because obviously there will be a scam involved. I mean, I'm joking, but you will need to do certain thing to save your play time because it will be a certain currency, right? But you will be able to redeem it from if what the detective said is going to happen, you can redeem your contract and do certain stuff, so you won't feel discouraged or you feel like you've spent a lot of time doing pointless thing, or like 3 months of playing and done nothing. No.
Like
we're gonna fix
keys.
it. Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Do you want me to send you the question that we had shared, just general?
Yeah. So you can do that. Long story short, the game is trying to rebuild itself, and it's going a bit slow, even having a bigger team, because we need to do it carefully.
Yeah.
And to fix many things that were how you say it. There are a lot of problems with this project, and it will be better if we do new project, right? But we are not going to do that because we're not going to drop our players like that. Because releasing Tanky Online 2 at this point and say the old servers are dead. I've seen this happening in the internet. Recently, Payday 3. Oh my God, what the hell happened? If you know the story, what happens when you're trying to drop your players and build new project that you like, but your players don't, and you cutting corners, and it's all fell apart in the end. We don't want to do that. We still need to make sure that anyone that played Tanky back in the day can still join the game and play the game, with the same account. So that's what we're trying to do. Okay, so questions.
Oh yeah. What happened with the bomb cart game mode? You guys talked about
it. We talked, and I still think that this game mode should replace Assault, because Assault is kind of hard to balance on different maps.
Yeah, that's the mode.
But it's it's not a priority at the moment.
Mm-hmm. And then
we can do that right now because we have bots, right? Mm-hmm. But we need to make bots that can play with the different players on the same map. And when we will be able to that, when we will be able to do that, the bomb cart will be basically a bot that is doing certain stuff following certain route in the game.
Yeah,
and the game mode will happen much more easily.
Okay. And then also recently, it's been happening for a while. When you load in between different menus, say you go to your garage mid-game or you open the shop randomly, it'll just infinitely load and you have to restart your game.
That's entire problem with DDoS recently, and the way we fixed it, and we're still working on it. So we know the resources are being loaded with mistakes. How do you say it? So there are certain problems. Okay, after we've implemented the anti-DDoS protection that is actually working and can prevent DDoS, the ping for everyone went up.
Yeah,
that's the consequence of that protection, and that brought the bunch of issues because there are certain desyncs happening here and there. So we need to fix that. So we're working on it. We gotta kind of see what the problem is, see why it's happening, and here's what I need to explain. I see it in the interface of certain screens on the game, we're working right now. These screens were made in different time and different people, so they use different code and the different style. Mm-hmm. So you cannot just change a certain item, it will change on all the screens. It's not like that. You need to fix the screens first. You need to rewrite them. This is what I mean, that it takes a lot of time, and this is actually some of the consequence of that, because you're switching between the screens and they're loading stuff differently, and this is why there's some jams happening. And in a few weeks, right now, what is happening is our data center, they the data center is in Netherlands, right? And there is a lot of water. And then they have their optic cables underwater. So they told us that they have the main cable damaged, right? And they using the substitute cable, and it's not stable, right? So time to time, certain players got disconnected. Like yesterday, I've seen the players from Ukraine and Poland disconnected for a bunch of times, right? And they still working on fixing that, and we're like, we cannot do much about it while they didn't fix it, but still, we have a great solution that will allow us to use different data centers. This will involve in virtualization of our game servers. It takes time as well. I think a few months will take to make it happen. Do you know anything about virtual data servers in data centers these days?
I can't say that's my area of expertise.
So long story short, you have a data center. It has physical computers, and you have a bunch of sites running on them. But the sites have a different load in a different time of day, right? And you why do you give a certain site 3 servers if you can have 3 servers in a prime time and 1 service and the rest of the time? Okay, you understand that, right? Mm-hmm. That's a pretty simple concept. And to do that, you need to make sure that the site understands when the data center tries to turn off a few servers. Like right now, we have a restart once a day, and we'd like to keep it that way. But if we will virtualize our servers, the data center will tell us, okay, it's 16 o'clock. You need to turn off 2 game servers. And we're like, how? Our players are playing the game. Right?
Yeah.
So we are working on doing that, so you won't be able to see it, or it will not impact you that much. So there will be something, reconnect, or you won't be able to see this process, something like that. And then we'll be able to virtualize our servers. They will become cheaper for us. We'll be able to run them in different locations. We might even have several servers at once. Because I know people from Brazil still hate us for switching to Euro only, but we hate ourselves as well. We'd like to have 1 server in Europe. I'd like to have 1 server in Pacific Asia, right? And 1 server in America. And I'd like players to have an option to switch between those servers when they want, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the server recently was pretty bad.
I'd really like to have a game to have that, because the ping is after we've introduced the anti-DDoS protection, it's still tolerable. I mean, this is not Counter-Strike when you have a 40 ping and you're like, oh my god, this is the worst game ever, right?
Yeah.
You can kind of play it on 100 ping, but you don't really like it. You want to see options. This game is ping tolerant, but anyway, there is a certain point when the game becomes just stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So we're working on it as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so
questions in.
You asked the question. Yeah. Where?
Are you asking detective?
It's in the server. It's in pictures.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, I found it. Yeah, so.
I deleted some of the ones.
Which one do you think?
So okay, let me run through them just for a minute. I'll read them and I'll tell you.
Okay.
So I'll shut up for a couple of seconds.
Dang, guys. We are at 100 plus viewers. I think we reached 115. That's crazy. Welcome, everyone. Sorry if I'm talking.
What the hell? No.
Well, I was just more thinking, you answered this earlier, like you guys don't plan to do that. But, oh gosh. Overwatch did it, and it worked for a week, and then it failed completely. Just to invigorate the players and bring back players, but you stated earlier that that's not planned, and I can understand why now, because I don't think it would work anymore.
Okay. So I see what kind of question that is. Let's go along the way. So the first one, which is the second one, do you plan to add more unique bundles to purchase other than same ultra-container bundles we've always been getting? Yes and no. I mean, they are working. Yes, and we really like it when we are doing our monetization through ultra containers. There might be changes because having longer events, I need more bundles selling on different weeks, so I might explore that again. They didn't work too well previously, so maybe I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about that.
Like the old
next
bundles
year.
with the new animated paints for that event. Exactly.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
And the golds.
Oh yeah, new gold themes, new gold skins.
So next one, have you ever considered sort of rebrand? I see where it's going. I will say maybe. I don't really like the idea because Tanky Online Retribution or something like that. It's a fun marketing tool. If marketing wants that, they might try it. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I don't really see.
More like Tanky Offline.
Or just remove the
Oh,
online
yeah.
and just be tanky. That was my one idea. Just because online seems a bit. I mean, it's now infused. In the
I know. But it's really infused, and in Russia, it's like a brand, like serious brand, and we cannot really let it go. So maybe, but we didn't see the better name for the game so far because the name Tanky Online is like the best how's it called, SEO name for the game. Like you're trying to look for a game that about tanks and it's online, and you push that in a search engine.
Yeah.
And the first thing you see is Tanky Online, and you'll be like, "Wow, someone actually do that." So yeah. The next one is any plans to add new hulls and turrets? Yes. Though I am not looking forward for any more hovering hulls for reasons.
Yeah.
We had enough of them. I do look forward for I had plans for a wheeled hulls, but it ended up to be skins. I had plans for different kind of wheeled hulls, but they are not going to happen in the next year, certainly. I have a plan for a certain hull that is it's actually normal tank hull, with a
Like just an Abrams hull or something.
Something like that, yeah, something like that. So we have plans for that, and we have plans for the overdrive and stuff like that. So it's going to be something like that. And about the turrets, yes, we have plans, though we are discussing them because we have enough turrets that have this double game mode, like you can hold the button, you can push the button. We haven't released a turret that just pew pew pew, just push the button and make people go die or something like that. So we need to look into it. I'm thinking about different kinds of turrets. We have 4 more planned.
Oh wow!
Planned, but they they're not going to happen in upcoming year. For reasons you will learn in that upcoming year. And we're still talking about their prototypes, and we'll try it. I'll say it like that. We'll make a prototype like we've done with the grenades, right?
Okay.
And we'll see how it goes. So we don't like. Previously, we were pretty much confident what the new mechanic we want to add, or the combination of mechanics like Gauss or Scorpion. Right now, we're like, okay, we need to prototype it, and we need to play test it before we're going to commit into it. So the bomb card game mode, I answered that. Will you see the new HD gold skins like the one Ultra Weekends? See the new HD gold. So is this a question about events, the golds, or something different?
Like pumpkin.
Yeah.
Gold.
So.
Stuff like that.
Okay. Yes. Though the art team is on the remaster right now, remastering maps, and no, the bridges is not the remastered maps in the next one. I know you have seen it, but trust me, it's just the guys who making the videos. They just learned they can run maps in Unity and make them look cool. And I've been like, what have you done?
They made it look like the new updated map.
But I'll tell you this. It's not one map. It's several maps.
Oh, cool.
There will be a bunch of several maps at once. It's not the bridges, and you're not going to believe which map they are, but I'm sure we will try to, at least in the next year, they will certainly be in the game.
Cool.
Okay. And the HD gold skins, yes, we'd like to do that. We'd like to make a certain goal for every event, but the art team is working on remasters, so it takes time. I can say that. I can tell you that it's not like we are going to neglect it forever. At least we had a Halloween garage this year, finally, like first time ever.
Yeah, it looks good.
So we don't forget about that. So we will come to that eventually. Okay, next one. Done game poster. Maybe some. Okay, about the maps. So this thing is hard because the matchmaking right now is like 30 maps, right?
Yeah.
And in other games 30 maps is like a lot. Nobody does that. I am looking into making a few more, but you need to understand that I have certain budget on map remaster, at least for now. And every new map I add to the game pool is the map that going to eventually be remastered because of matchmaking. And it needs to be negotiated, something like that.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to remake one old map that nobody played that much back in the day, because it wasn't too long for the game. So I will name you the map, but I'm looking into it. Okay. Maybe there will be a few more maps from the pro as well, though. Like the recent bunch, like Skylark and the Scope, I don't really like them. I need to like fix them first, So
can you fix Berlin?
What?
Berlin.
Berlin. So have you seen the recent update?
Which one?
That happened this Friday.
I read through the.
We made a hole. We made a hole in the middle of the map.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So you need to look into it. So we're trying to fix it. Yes, we're trying to fix the Berlin.
Okay, cool.
Yes, so we'll look into it because, well, having more maps is fun.
Like, it came from a video. I don't remember the person who made the video, but he said that, like, not really just bringing kind of some of the pro battle maps into the MM pool, not like necessarily.
Yeah, so it's not that easy because they are not suited for certain game modes anymore, and the scope of the game, because tanks become a bit faster. So if you'll try to use like what was the name of the maps? Well, many maps in Pro they are like really narrow, So it's a problem. You need to fix them first and make sure they work with matchmaking. Maybe, yes, I guess. I can say that. So anyway, the different thing we're trying to do is with remaster maps, we're trying to make the different times of day and different seasons. So right now we have already made a autumn season. And we have night maps planned, but that will take some updates in the
autumn maps
in the game engine.
I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty dang good looking.
So our plan moving forward is not just to make new maps entirely, but make them look different. Because I tried it and it really feels like a different map. Like certain maps in matchmaking, they have in evening the sun is like on the different side, so the shadows go in different way. And every time you land on this map, you're like, where the hell I am for a couple of seconds. And it like really works. So we'll look into that as well. Okay, so the next one. I need to make money and engage with the game. Making evidence, but balance and okay, so about the unbalanced augments, I've kind of answered that previously. So it happens when they release, but eventually they brought in line, because eventually all the augments make into the standard containers, like the healers augment recently, and we have the next augments plan to do that. We will have eventually we'll have all the status augments in the containers, so they will be balanced accordingly. And by the end of the game, I don't know how to say it, right now, it's like, it's like a problem. I can make augments right now, a lot of augments, but I cannot make a lot of skins, right?
Yeah.
But previously, I could make a lot of like paints, but not a lot of augments or skins.
Mm-hmm.
So there was time in the game there were only paints in the game. Then there is a time in the game there are only augments in the game. I don't like it because it's not balanced. It don't feel right. But I can't really do anything about it right now. In looking forward, I'm looking forward for the days when we'll have like both paints, skins, and augments. So you can choose, and you won't be able to like see the new augment pretty much every event, or you have some time to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, but it's certainly gonna take time.
Okay.
If you think about it, we haven't updated the gunshot effects for quite a while, right?
Yeah.
And we have hinted that we're working on it, but it takes time to make it happen. We've only managed to update the explosion of the grenade, and the explosion of the tank is still on pause for some reason. And we have new railgun shot already in pipeline, but
cool.
It will take time to implement, and then we'll be able to make a different color, and not only just a color, different types of effects for turrets.
Yeah.
That's it will make it so you will see less augments in the game, but more augments and effects. So it's gonna balance itself out. So it's gonna be like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the next one, tank physics is clearly very important game. So why is physics buggy, and why physics buggy? And they change physics parkour only. Okay. So this question is kind of interesting because it implies that we have made something to fix the physics in parkour, but didn't fix the physics in matchmaking.
Okay.
I don't know what does that mean, because
I think Taspens they commented on one of the vlogs and then they got a response.
Yes, I commented. So when the physics were changed in parkour so that they were more fluid, I commented in the vlog, hey, can this change be made for matchmaking so we can have like gold catches or just fun parkour moments? Because right now the physics, you shoot midair and you stop right in place. And so I got a response to my comments saying
that
we don't
part.
plan.
Yeah, I remember that part. So this is anti-cheat.
Okay.
This is what's going on, and that certain anti-cheat, what it does, it stops the tank when it's flying. And in parkour, the anti-cheat is turned off. That's the only difference.
Okay.
So we didn't really fix it. We just turned it off, So this is why it's not happening in matchmaking, because if we do that, the players, there will people just flying for the goals. And we're like, no, we don't want to have that. I understand the frustration. I don't like it as well, because tank is flying and then it stop and then fall down, and I'd be like, what the hell? But
Exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to fix.
Okay.
The reason is that
because I like to parkour and do epic stuff in matchmaking, and I guess there are more people. So yeah.
Yeah, but it will require us to rebuild the anti-cheat, and that obviously takes ludicrous amounts of time. Or maybe at some point, we will make the server-based physics, so it will be easier to check if the player is doing something weird. But again, it's kind of double-edged sword. Right now you have a client-based physics, right? So when you see the ping high, only enemy players is jumpy. You yourself, you don't feel the rubber band effect. You don't pull on your previous position, right? And if you have a server-based physics, this is what happened. This is where the rubber banding came in. Do you understand the rubber band? What that means?
Yeah. Like back.
It's in shooter games when you just teleported back when you previously were, stuff like that. So this is why it's not happening in Tanky, because it's client-based. But if you make it server-based, you can make easy anti-cheats. But then the ping is going to be a pain in the ass. So no, having a big ping and switching to that is a bad idea. And maybe we'll look for some different ways to solve it, because hoppers can fly, okay, so it kind of work. So maybe we'll be able to fix it. Okay, next one. Tanky plans with the low ranks. How does Tanky plan to keep new players? Yes. The tutorial, my dude. Long tutorial, yes.
Yeah,
bots,
we already asked
yes.
a lot of these questions.
The special screen when you will build your tank yourself and use it in the first game. Yes, there will be changes. We're working on them a lot. Okay, the old tanky was clearly wildly successful. The aspect of old tanky you made so fun and popular, and how does the differ from 10 today? But that's a big question. Oh my god, I half answered that.
Yeah.
I mean,
with
what aspects of
HD
old tanky
3D.
do I think were fun? Yeah, and popular. And how does the tanky differ from tanky today? What aspects of the old tanky would you potentially like to bring back? I need to address it because there is certain misconception about that. The old tanky were way more simple, and that was the reason why many players were leaving the game back in the day. But that was the reason why many players were coming into the game. And the game turned into a sort of a grinder when you have a core audience that know what they're doing, right? They using molds, they replaying the game, they know what to buy, when to buy, they know when the discounts are. And you have the rest of the players. They come in, they don't know what's going on, they try to shoot, they've been blown up, they're like, I don't understand, I leave the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you, as a player who have been playing for a long time, you see this kind of players, you just shoot them, you don't care, and you can upgrade your own tank. So that aspect was the foundation of the previous game. Like many players went through it, and the core knew what to do, and the core felt it like the best game ever because they could pound the noobs endlessly.
Mm-hmm.
While we had noobs. Right now we don't have many noobs, so good luck doing that. But the bots actually somewhat return that feeling. So this is why I'm looking forward for having bots in normal games. It's not like I'm going to turn this game into PvE. I've seen games trying that. It doesn't really work. Yeah. If you go into Tank Online, you don't go into play a PvE game. You go into a PvP game. But if you have certain amount of bots, because Titanfall, god damn it, right? Best game ever. And they have like pilots, right? And they have normal Call of Duty players, but all of them are bots, right? And the pilots like grind the bots, like shooting them, and the bots like, oh my god, it's a pilot! It's like they're like crazy, like doing stuff, if you ever listen to them. So I look at that and I see it like a. Back in the day, people were like, Titanfall, like 8 players per map, what the hell? But that was actually a good feeling, If you have like, it will be something like when it was with crystals, when you could grind them in the game. So you will know what players are bots. You can learn by looking at the nicknames. Yeah. So you know that these players are extremely like noobs. Like they are, what's the word? Predictable. They're extremely predictable. Like throwing grenade into bot and missing it will be like a noob moment, right? Because placing a mine and the bot will always step on that mine and explode. So you know how to work with bots. And you have players like Agents of Chaos, right? And you need to bring it all into the same game. So you will have that feeling like you have noobs to pound and you have players to be a nuisance. So this will bring the old feeling back into the game. I guess it makes sense. Do I?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, okay. So let's go with the next question. What's going on with keys?
We already answered this.
Development. Okay, so how come it is announced back in June? It takes that long, okay? It really takes that long.
Okay.
We need to rebuild it and don't break anything. Okay, this is why we're like extremely careful. We're trying to convert it. We're trying to do different stuff. Have you seen the Tanky Online TikTok?
I don't use TikTok.
I don't
so.
really use TikTok, so
Do you even know? Yeah. Okay. So I understand. So anyway, in the TikTok, if you will have a chance or someone who can try it out, you can find Tanky Online TikTok. And the recent posts, there are 4 posts with new containers and how they're opening. Okay.
Oh, wow.
No.
And they are like, oh my God. When you see it, you'll know it's good. It's really good. We really put the work into it.
Oh, I found it.
You found it?
Yeah.
Let me check it.
Take a moment.
If you see a question here that you already answered, feel free.
Yeah,
feel free to skip
if
over
I can add something, I'll add something. Okay, but anyway.
Yeah, please do.
So how's containers?
They look nice because I don't know. The normal animation has just been here for so long. We need something new.
Uh-huh.
They look cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, so we're trying to put that into the game using magic. So this is how you will see it in the game, and we're really excited about that. Okay, so the next one, camping. Yeah, camping. So as I said.
With the spells?
We're going to give you tools to make campers' lives worse. And like the smoke grenades, the certain countermeasure. I mean, the grenades itself is the best anti-camper tool ever. Like, I'm playing the game right now, and the campers, they like blind, right? They shoot in a certain cone, they don't see anything, and they hide on a purchase or something like that above or below you. And you just, like, accurately throw the grenade, and they like stand in, and the grenade explodes, and they get their heads flying off, and it's hilarious. So this is one way to put it. So the grenades is actually anti-camper weapon, and there will be specialized anti-camper grenades. So I'm sure you're gonna like it. Oh, you know what? I have a list of the grenades I want to make. The one of them is called the fireworks. Okay. This is just a fun grenade to have on the weekends and stuff like that. But when I tried it, I realized that I can actually make a huge explosion out of the fireworks, like a damaging explosion. But it happens above the tank, so it doesn't damage anyone except for hoppers. Right? So you will have the grenade that's specifically made so any hopper above you will instantly die. Okay?
I like
It's
that.
like fireworks go to hell grenade. It's a great stuff. So the grenades is actually cool. So I really hope it is gonna. I mean, I'm really careful with implementing grenades because adding something to the core of the game 10 years after is like a pain in the ass. But I'm really like trying to make it, and I'm playing time to time with the grenades right now, and I'm really like the next play test that happened 2 weeks from now is going to be even different types of reload of the grenades. Okay. It will work like this: when you throw a grenade, there will be a timer, like 40 seconds, right? But after the timer ends, you will not have your grenade back. You will have to go to respawn from that point on, like after these 40 seconds. So you will have the grenade on the respawn. The specific feeling that I want to achieve is that you, on your respawn, you check if you have grenade or not. If you don't have a grenade, you play the tank line as before, the same way, right? But if you have a grenade, you're like, okay, I have a grenade. How can I use it? So this is what I'm looking for. So we'll try it then.
Are you gonna change how grenades are thrown?
Yeah, that's what
yes, but no. Okay, I know your feelings, like it's incredibly hard. And actually, the recent clip when Taspens playing and like using grenades and complaining the grenades are too hard to use, and then he have a grenade moment. And I was showing these grenade moments to my colleague, and I was like, this is what we're looking for. Okay, he complains about how hard it to use, but when he knows when it's going to work, he throw it and he got them obliterated the enemy.
True.
This is why it's hard to use. It's intentional. I made it specifically so it doesn't feel like a
point and shoot
Sorry?
type thing.
Yes, so I'm specifically not looking for a grenade that you push a button and the enemy dies, because you guys complaining about having too much ways to kill tanks, right? Mm-hmm. This is why I'm doing them hard to use. I don't want them to be used as another damage tool, because this is not what we need. We have augments, we have another stuff to deal damage. We need certain stuff to make enemy player move to react on your actions. This is why grenades so hard, and they hard to use. They slow to explode, but when they explode, goddamn! I mean, those when you throw at that point, it was like a grenade moment. That was really, really fun. This is what we're looking for.
Okay.
That's so this is why they're hard. This is why they're hard, and this is why we'll keep them hard for a while. We'll have different grenades, maybe options.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so yes, when you'll have more players and know how to use them, we will need to nerf them, because when we release the Magnum initially, right? It was balanced all right, but the players didn't like it because they didn't know how to use it. And it went for a few months, and we had to buff the turret so they would try to play in with it. But then after half a year, players en masse learned how to play it, and the game turned into cancer because everyone was using Magnum at that point. So this is why I'm really careful with grenades. I don't want the core of the game to blow up overnight. Okay, the next one. Can we use anything? Yeah, so I understand why this is why the players need to play for a while just holding the F button to understand how it works, because the trajectory is multiplied by the vector of the hull. So when you move left, your grenade will, yes, and the speed as well. So this is what makes the grenades fun and hard at the same time. It's actually happening in Counter-Strike for all reasons, because I learned it, and so and players don't understand it, but it's like I understand why they don't understand it, but I will not change it anyway, because I know when they will learn it, this will be turned into skill, and it will be turned into cool skill when the players can do cool stuff. So anyway, we'll have some like. Sorry?
I didn't say anything.
No, I mean the brother thieves.
The stream shouldn't be
The
lagging,
grenades
guys.
to
I'm
the
getting
balls?
9,000 bitrate, so the stream should be good. So you maybe refresh your stream, guys. Seems he's talking to the boss right now or something. He's talking to someone else. Yeah, the stream shouldn't be laggy for you guys. So hopefully it's not lagging. Yeah, don't worry. I'll make a summary stream or a summary video of everything and go over all the answers and what I heard. So, yeah, you guys don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, so that's basically our plan. Okay, the next question is, so camping, okay, what's your favorite combo to play with or favorite playstyle? Okay, I'll try to explain to you. I don't really like small maps. I'm sorry. So when I see the sandbox or a sandal, it's beautiful made, it's remastered, I'm instantly leaving these maps,
small maps
because I don't really like them.
Small maps are amazing.
I understand. This is why I have the small maps and the big maps in the game, because people like different stuff. So, and this is why I don't penalize players for leaving maps, because you have an option to do that. But anyway, back in the day, I was using the long range turrets, but not a camper style, because I hate sitting on the one place. What I was doing, and especially in Cybersport back in the day, I was playing like a midline with a shaft. And it was like strange, because people expected shaft to sit in a backline and guard a certain point, but that's wasn't what I was doing. And I'm still playing like this. What I was doing, I was trying to deliver as much damage to as many tanks as I could see in the midline. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to do. I want to have a long arm to influence the game. I don't really like the melee range turrets, so I like to play the long arm, but I don't play like the camping, because boring, and I want to go stuff places, and I want to help with the flag and stuff like that. So it's like basically Thunder is my favorite turret. Okay, despite whatever people say, the Thunder, I like that turret. And I like Gauss because it's like an overbuffed turret. It's like Gauss is overbuffed Thunder, or like it's a Thunder with more options, something like that. Okay, so and the hull, yeah, I play Viking because I know most of the gameplay in Viking.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just like that. I'm trying to different hulls time to time, but only for. And I need to realize that I have to play different turrets anyway, because the data and the feedback is one thing, but you need to go and try it for yourself to understand what is going on. Right, so I need to play different play styles in different maps, and that in different maps and different turrets. So that's what I do time to time. It's not like in my free time. Okay, I just anyway, in a free time, I prefer to play Metal Gear Solid for some reason. Anyway, so what's the best case scenario for Tanky? What is the optimal time to create success?
You kind of
Okay,
answered
so
this
this
a little bit, but
Yeah, I did. So we need to rebuild the core on the fly. It's kind of hard, but we're halfway there. And when we'll announce our big plans, you will realize that what we were doing is making sense, and you will be on board. I'm not sure that Russian players will be on board, but it's half of the game is. If you need to understand that half of the game is Russian players and half of the game is not Russian players, so it's like we need to play all together. Anyway.
yeah.
This is what, and when we'll announce the plans, you will actually instantly learn why this makes sense. Okay.
Okay.
It's I'm sure it will happen next year. You will learn it, and you will see what we're going to do, and you realize how big it is.
Okay.
Could you give us
And
an
I'm not going to know. I hinted a lot already.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say any other word because if I say anything, you will realize instantly what is going on.
Okay.
So the best scenario for Tanky is to rebuild the start of the game. Yeah, no spoilers. No spoilers. So the best case scenario is to rebuild the start of the game, find the new source of players, and make the Tanky, the big game again. We can do that. Okay, next one.
Okay,
What's up with... what's up with Halloween? Well, you can think it's an experiment, okay?
Okay.
No. How come you didn't add a mod with all supplies and no drones, arguments, and
This is kind of like just a personal one for me.
Yeah. So this question is actually about stolen projects of Tank Online. You know those, right?
Yeah.
And they've been around for quite a while, and there were different names for those projects, and all of them were trying to recreate the old versions of Tanky with the different kinds of supplies and stuff, and they don't really work because we were following them, we were looking how they work, and they unsuccessful in the end for many different reasons. And this is like we're trying to do that, but what we see with the feedback is when we turn off too much, there were a bunch of players complaining that they don't have their stuff working, right? Like they won't. We tried the no drones mode, but the players were like, "Why did you turn off the drones? You make them simple. Like I like my drone for what it's doing. Why you denied me of using that drone?" But we're like, "It's a special game mode. You just want to no, give me back my drones." And so we're trying to changing plans using different settings time to time. So this event is especially interesting because we've made a few weeks, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the next time we'll make it different settings on each week. I don't know, maybe. So
That'd be cool.
It's kind of an experiment.
Okay.
And having more different events is it's an interesting way to go. Yeah. So the next one, what's the biggest misconception that? Yeah. So which one? The next one.
Next one is just the biggest misconception that I think you answered this a little bit. That the main thing.
Wait. Do only I hear the Bruda, or you can hear him too?
I cannot hear him. Here, let me.
So he asked the question when the old silence is gonna return. No, it's not going to return.
Old silence. Old madness.
Old madness.
Oh yeah, the bottom of madness.
So yeah, about the old madness. So it's a kind of interesting story because the madness map, in its current state, is how the original creator of the map envisioned this map, like without the bottom. Then the bottom was added, but the original creator didn't like it. But the players were it's an interesting version. And I was like, okay, I like this version as well because I made the certain changes to the bottom of the map. So it was looking better. And then the creator came in and asked, could you please remove the lower part of the map? And I was like, okay, I can do that. And nobody liked that. So maybe we'll have versions if I can find that map and refit it. I know, maybe.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I remember capping a
really
flag
nice.
on that back in Pro Battles. gave you like the most XP
there
ever.
was there was a certain exploit connected to it, because the players on the upper floor could just shoot one another and having fun shooting game, and the players on the bottom were just moving flags from one point to another, and they were having different game, and they were having crystals falling on their heads, right? So that's what's happening. This is basically an exploit of sorts. And if you bring that map back, you cannot really recreate this exploit anymore, because the game changed. So it's not going to feel the same. So this is why we're like, why bother?
Okay.
Yeah. So the next question. The biggest misconception that the Tanky player base has. Well, I basically tried to explain that in the beginning of the stream. So you think like the game is falling down and is doing worse and worse and worse, and for developers it's like the other way around. Like finally we can do stuff, we can fix stuff, we can make stuff happen and stuff. It will take a few more years, but we are ready to make that happen. So it's interesting. The other misconception is that we are like with losing a lot of players is the same as losing a lot of money. Let me tell you this, from 130,000 down to, I don't know, maybe 10,000, you can say that, okay? That's more than 10 times less players, right?
Okay.
It's not that much in money. It's less than 2 times. Okay.
Yeah, the players leaving are the ones not spending money, usually.
Not only that. There were less content back in the day, less events, and less stuff to buy. So the monetization over the years is actually pretty good, right? And then average revenue per paying user or stuff like that, gaming KPIs and stuff like that, they're actually good. And they make it, and they even better over the time. So if the players think that we are like broke or something, no. The Tanky started when there was a recession after 2008. You remember that years when the stock market crashed. The Tanky is still around. We can make our ends meet, and we know what we're doing. At least we are now confident that we know what we are doing, and the game is kind of reflect that. So the only thing that left for us to fix is to show you that we can bring new players to the game and make them stay. So this is what we're working on. Yeah. So this is actually the greatest misconception about Tanky. That well, the first one is that the game were bigger and better before, but for the game developers, it was like it was neglected for the other projects, right? And right now it's other way around. So I can call it this is a biggest misconception.
Okay.
The next one is what is something you want to say to the Tanky player base? Oh, hi guys, my name is Hazel. I make guns and stuff. I hope you have fun. And in the Taspen Discords, I show him my balls. And if you want to see my balls in the Discord, you can join the Taspens Discord right now, and you can find this moment when I show Taspens my balls, and he became the president of United States. That's literally what happened in the Discord. Okay. True story. Yeah, we have evidences, and we have witnesses. Yes, right. Sorry. Will you fix the issue with the infinite loading between different games? Yes.
You already answered this.
We're working on it. Yes. And will you increase the friends list from limits? No, because the reasons. It's not due to flash limitations. It's like there are certain exploits involved with the number of players, and we're looking to like make this list even shorter for some reasons, but we're like leave it like it is for a while.
Maybe only use it for like YouTubers, because
that's hard to tell. Yeah, it's like it's not like I don't think it's like clans, which we can make as big as we want. The friend system is way older. It's from 2013, I think. So it doesn't really support this. So it's not like you can just make it happen.
Oh,
And the final one, yay! Queuing into games as a group can sometimes take 5 times longer. Yes, the queue in solo. Not sure how this can change without a boost in players. You're right, because we can actually change it. Like I can make certain changes to the match, how much making works, so it can be changed just at the moment. But there is a problem. We're trying to find the games when you can play against the other group first, right? Because that makes sense. Otherwise, it will be like not really fair. This is why it takes so long, because we're looking for another suitable group. And if we like having a minute or something like that, we give up and we like okay, whatever, just find any game and just let them play. So this is why it takes longer. So if more players could use the group system, that will be better. Or we can make more obvious, because we know that new players don't actually see that groups exist in the game. Not like I mean, they don't encounter with the groups, but like they don't see the interface because it doesn't really explain, right? So that might actually change it. And yeah, the more players will actually fix it. I know, or I will at some point give up and just make it so the players will be able to play against groups, and this will be kind of okay. I don't know, maybe. So yeah, here we are. We have. Spent quite a time. I think I explained some stuff.
You answered basically every question, so.
Can I ask one thing?
Yeah,
Hazel.
So
Do you have any plans for the parkour events, like Master of Parkour, but something different in the future?
Yes, I guess, because the next year I actually made a new events plan, right? And there are certain times when we can add events like the parkour or stuff like that. And there are like, if the community managers team will find a inspiration for that, I'm sure they will add it to the plan or something like that. Because I myself, I don't do that. My job is like mainline events, like the stuff with the
mini
augments, with the
mini games,
yeah, and stuff like that. Yeah. So I don't do those small events because I have different things to do.
So OPEX, do you wanna maybe go into a battle?
OPEX, oh my god.
I just say Hazel. It's easier than.
Yeah, it's because the OPEX is like actually Russian for Hazel. You wanted to invite me to the game?
Did you want to do a pro battle, or what did you guys want to do?
Because I don't really feel like it, because it's already quite late.
Yeah, it's late. We've been talking for 2 hours, so.
Yeah, so if you have some questions, I can answer them, and we can call it a day or something like that.
Maybe we can ask from the chat.
Yeah, maybe.
Last second questions, guys.
When
will they add voice chat?
Taspens.
Voice chat.
You have Discord. Come on, you have Discord. Use Discord. It's better.
They went like VoIP or something.
You do you really want to hear like Russian boy? What are you doing? Go in different direction. Your mother and everything. Do you really want to hear that? I'm not sure you want to hear that.
If you want to hear it, you can go in CS and easy.
Yeah, Counter Strike. Yeah, Rush B and the rest of the the rest of the line.
Oh, do you guys ever plan to add a ranked mode? Like
the
with
rank
Tanky
mode.
X?
No, not really. I have a certain grudge with rating mode. Like, you mean RMM, like rating matchmaking, right?
Basically, yeah. Or like gold, platinum, diamonds type thing.
Not really. I don't feel like the game is ready for it.
Okay.
Not enough players?
No, it's not the player's problem. It's the game style problem. I mean, if you will have the game being in a rating matches, you will need the players to be able to reconnect. You don't want to have any hiccups. You don't want any disconnects. You will hate to see the players being unable to respawn. You will have to force players to not leave matches, right? To don't leave the map. and this is like a lot. And in the end of the day, players don't really like the rating matchmaking, because I've seen how. On the other hand, on one hand, I see Counter-Strike. On the other hand, I see like Overwatch, right? And it's like two different worlds. Like in Counter-Strike, like I'm global elite. Yeah, you are, because you are goddamn cool. And in Overwatch, you perceive like this rating system as like your progression in the game. And when it stops, you feel like really frustrated. And I don't really like that. And I'm not sure that it's going to feel good in Tank Line.
Okay. And do you have plans to change rewards for ranking up?
Maybe. Let's put it this way. You will need to wait for the keys.
Okay.
And when keys will happen, you will understand.
Okay. Yeah, one container for ranking up as a legend is a bit underwhelming.
I know. Okay, so if we run out of questions,
Do you guys have anything else, detectives,
guess so.
Jumper?
check a few things.
Yeah, so with campers, you kind of just said
Yeah.
that the smoke grenade, like, not just smoke grenades, but just different grenades are kind of the solution for that.
Yeah.
Do you maybe like,
Oh, we didn't tell you how the grenade's gonna work and what it is, right? We didn't tell you.
no,
Uh,
that's not the issue. I mean, that would be cool if you told us, but that's kind of spoilers. I was more
yeah.
thinking maybe, like, because you shouldn't really be, it shouldn't be a fix to camping that their own team self like does trolling to their team.
Well, okay. I mean, the grenades are good against enemy campers, right? And you can use smoke grenades against your own team, so they won't camp. But like, would you really? Because you will have one grenade for several respawns, and having an ability to survive throwing this grenade forward is like you have more chances, and it will be more impactful for the game if you throw it just in the troll reasons, right? But you know, players will do that eventually, and we'll have to see if it's okay or not.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then
But there's like there's some like grenades that you're just not telling us about that should be fixing this issue.
Maybe.
Okay, maybe. I'll take that.
I'll say maybe. Yeah, I'll say maybe, because we will release the grenades on the go, one by one, and we'll see how it works. And basically, we are not having a lot of tools to protect our own tanks right now. We have more offensive tools. We need some defensive tools. So that's what I'm looking for. The grenades, standard grenades, are like both offensive and somewhat defensive, because you can throw them back so the players will not pursue you. But it's not the same as to having the grenades that outright, for example, heal you, for example, or something like that. I don't know.
Personally, I'm a huge fan of the concept of shields. It just
like from
In
TPX?
Tankex, right? Yeah, so, we are trying a prototype of a thing that is somewhat like a shield, but it's not a shield like in Tankex. It's like a foam grenade, like Minecraft stuff. Should I really say it? It's basically the grenade that creates a block of foam in the middle of the game, and you cannot shoot through it.
Oh, dang.
So it's like an obstacle, and you need to break it.
That sounds really nice.
Yeah, so we have plans for that. So like, you can equip one grenade on you, and you will have options. And the standard grenades is just the first one, but you will have the different options to do different funny stuff, like the fireworks grenade if you really hate hoppers, the smoke grenade if you really hate people, and this foam grenade if you really need to make players stop. Like, don't go this way. Like, I need to block this pass and stuff like that. There will be a different one, because I'm looking for a Counter-Strike as a reference for grenades, right? So, what is the grenade in Counter-Strike that I didn't mention?
Shoot, I wish I
But
played
it
Counter-Strike enough.
Which
Stun
one?
grenades
Which
or
one?
something?
Which?
Flashes?
But
Flashbangs?
flashes, yeah. But the flashbangs is easily more can be easily modded out of the game because the flash on the screen, everyone will skip that, and having the grenades that just stuns players is like boring. So we are not looking forward for the flashbang grenades. So what is the other grenade? The other one.
Decoys?
It's boring.
Come
on, comrade! I know.
Molotov,
Yes,
Molotov.
comrade. Molotovs. We can use Molotovs, comrade. Yes, that's right. But we can't really use flame against tanks, right? So because tanks are like,
Metal, yeah.
yeah, we have firebar turret, but I'm not gonna explain anything. So, so instead of a flame, it using different substance, but it actually makes the same thing. It creates the area in which you will receive damage, and you will need to run out of this place. Okay, so there will be these options as well.
You mean something like toxin or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Ah.
Looks
Yeah,
like my
so
stream is bugging.
there will be options, and it's really fun. So we'll hope we'll be able to have a whole year with the fun grenades, and the final grenade, the pinnacle of grenades that I'll absolutely will need to add to the game. It will be the holy hand grenade. Like goddamn, I have a chance to do that, guys. I have to do it for the memes.
Okay.
You know the holy hand grenade, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wish I don't play enough of that.
God damn it.
I play,
It's
so I know.
it's the grenade that yells Hallelujah before it explodes.
The stream is not working.
Yeah.
I refreshed the
Nice.
stream.
Oh,
it
your
should
stream
hopefully work
stopped.
now.
Oh,
I refreshed it. I refreshed it. I don't know. For some reason, some
Okay.
people are lagging, even though my bit rate is over 10,000. So I don't understand. I refreshed it. though.
There
It should
seems to
better.
be some issues on the on the line, like in Europe. We see it like in the game. So maybe is that. As I said the last day we had problems with players from Poland and Ukraine, so it's maybe the same thing. So I know internet is kind of weird these days.
Can I ask, you remember the missions where you had like 999 kills or something like that?
Yeah.
Are you planning to add this for something like better rewards?
Let me put it this way: this is basically contracts.
Okay.
That's
It's like that. It's also almost like that. It's like paid missions that you can just get in and you can do.
Someone's
Oh
asking
wow!
me-
Look at the general chat. There is like a worldwide YouTube outages.
Oh.
Goddamn! That's the best time to end this stream, guys.
Wait,
I
wait,
appreciate this.
One question
okay.
is, when are you gonna do a stream like this again?
Yeah, maybe. So just to let you know, I'm going to leave this Discord, right?
Mhm.
Because I need to do my work. People,
Yeah, I understand.
people just bother me all the time. I need to focus. So I will leave, but I will return eventually because I still watch YouTube. I don't comment much, but I watch YouTube. I watch Russian YouTube. I watch English YouTube. I watch a bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah.
I need to watch it because it's the best way to bring feedback in. And even if you're saying that Hazel is like the worst man in the world, I'm still understand that you're like expressing your feelings. And even if you like having 6 gazillion likes under the comment that Hazel need to be gone and stuff like that, I still understand this like feelings. Okay, no hard feelings for my part. You can do you, and I'm still listening for your feedback. You can just make a video, and it is the best way to make sure that we will learn about it. Okay. So we know that stuff is going on. We know problems. It's just it takes time to fix, and and then priorities, man, the goddamn priorities.
It's a lot
Yeah.
to work on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. So if you feel frustrated sometimes, we know we gamers ourselves. We know it's hard. It's really complicated. And when you have a game that is out there for 15 years and initially this company wasn't a game making company. It was just a coding company. It was like change along the way. It's actually it's a headache. It's really hard to make stuff going. But well, we done something, you know. If not that many studios have a game that out there for 15 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, we don't mind the advertisements for 10 years, and the game is still around. Come on, we know something, right? We can do something. Even if you disagree with us, we can understand that. So just don't hate us too much, okay? So I can share more videos with my colleagues because I'm trying to kind of shield them
Yeah.
from certain harsh
Don't worry.
criticisms. But,
No, today's conversation has definitely
and-
been helpful, so I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Okay, yeah.
I appreciate you
And
reaching out.
I'm going to looking forward for the Ghost Animator video because goddamn, man.
He's been gone for
I
a
like
year
the
now.
videos.
Legendary.
Yeah.
Ghost Animator.
We all know.
You know you will have to return to Tanki. You know that. Everyone returns to Tanki. Eventually. So okay. Thank you all. Thank you for today.
Of course. Thank you,
Yeah.
I
thank
need
you for
to
coming.
I need to go on the
coming,
stage and talk and have the rest of my Sunday for myself. So thank you a lot.
All right.
And
Say hi to
see
the
you
care
again
from
next time.
us.
Alright, see ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. That was that. I hope
That was-
it seemed
Yeah,
he answered every question we had, so I'm
Yeah,
definitely gonna
that's
make a video
crazy.
on this. Detective will make a video on it. I'll more so
I will too.
I'll leave the
From
stream
some
public,
We make a supercut.
and I'll probably make a different video from the detective because I imagine the detective's gonna make a video where he cuts up the stream basically, and I'll make a video
Oh,
more so
you
where I
think
go
so, Nolan?
over. Yeah, it's a 2-hour
Mhm.
stream, but I'll more so make a video where I'll put stuff that he says, but I'll also give my opinions on what he says. So looks like YouTube's
Yeah.
kind of crapping out though, so I'm probably gonna end it here.
Mhm.
We've been live
Wait,
for
wait. Could
2.5
you?
hours, so that's crazy.
Yeah, well, it's a long stream.
We had 117
yeah.
live viewers at one point. That's
That's
crazy.
dope.
Man,
Over
I can't
100.
wait to get like
That's
10K
awesome.
This was
views.
kinda interesting too.
Appreciate the donation, Ace K, and probably gonna end it there. You guys have a good one. I'm gonna leave this stream public so you guys can watch it, and I'll make a video out of it either tomorrow or today.